they found a strange box in the garage. Throwing it out was a huge mistake. Michael and Jenna Collins had recently purchased a foreclosed home in upstate New York with plans to renovate and resell it. The property was old, with a detached garage filled with dusty tools, boxes of old books, and forgotten furniture. On their third day of clearing out the clutter, Jenna noticed a strange wooden box shoved behind a rusted shelving unit. It was plain, locked, and covered in soot, as if it had survived a fire. In the hectic cleaning, Michael accidentally tossed it onto the discard pile with the rest of the junk. The next morning, a local trash hauler came by and loaded the debris into the truck. The box was gone. Later that afternoon, while sorting through the remaining items in the garage, Jenna came across a photo album tucked in a drawer. Inside were black and white photos, dozens of them, showing the very box they had thrown away, opened and filled with bundles of currency, silver bars, and official documents. Some of the notes in the album referenced a private savings cache hidden during the 1930s banking collapse. Panicked when they couldn't find the now gone box, Michael called the waste company. The truck had already offloaded its contents at the landfill. Recovery was impossible. Curious and desperate for answers, Jenna took the album to a local historian. What she learned was staggering. The box may have been part of a little-known practice during the Great Depression, when families hid their entire wealth in secure, inconspicuous containers to avoid losing it to bank failures. In some cases, those caches were never recovered or reported. The historian showed her similar documented cases, hidden wealth found decades later worth hundreds of thousands, even millions. If the photos were accurate, the contents of that discarded box would have included pre-war silver certificates, collectible coins, and valuable bearer bonds that were now nearly extinct. Realizing what they had lost, Michael and Jenna could barely speak about it. They had thrown away a piece of financial history, a private vault that had likely sat untouched for nearly a century. What made it worse was the fact that the garage had been largely intact. The box had survived every storm, every change in ownership, and every renovation, only to be discarded by people who didn't know better. Their story spread through local news outlets and online forums, quickly becoming a modern parable about the importance of due diligence, especially with old properties. Michael and Jenna completed their renovations and sold the house at a modest profit. But they both admitted the experience had changed how they looked at forgotten things. Not everything old is junk. Some of it is simply waiting to be recognized for what it truly is.